Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A significant difference between the two COVID waves that we've seen so far in this country is the increased cases of post-recovery complications. One such silent killer is mucormycosis or black fungus. Cases of mucormycosis have been fast rising and detected across at least 10 states, with the infection even costing us many lives. Health experts have red flagged the overuse of lifesaver steroids in COVID-19, which is now degenerating into a silent killer in patients with comorbidities. But state governments are now recognizing this threat and this infection, which poses, as they are saying, a huge risk to patients. In fact, two states of Haryana and Rajasthan even declaring that this is a black fungus epidemic in their states. In Delhi, which has decided to bar the sale of those drugs from open markets, this seems to be the latest challenge that the medical fraternity and COVID patients are facing. Let's look at what the experts have to advise us on how to treat COVID patients without steroids, and will this minimize the risk of mucormycosis or black fungus in our patients? That's the question. And coming up on the other side, I'm joined by a director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Dr. Randeep Guleria. Also joining me tonight is KK Handa, chairman of Medanta Division of ENT Head Neck Surgery. Dr. Guleria, to you first. Mucormycosis has suddenly become a huge worry and a huge scare for patients suffering from COVID. And this whole talk about what is the standard operating procedure for use of steroids. You know, it is said that if you use steroids in large quantities, now what is this large quantity? What is the definition? We don't seem to have any guidelines, to describe this, and what will actually open us up to the risk of mucormycosis?
So mucormycosis is a fungal infection, which we've seen also to some extent during the first wave. And it's been also reported in 2003 when we had the SARS outbreak. But the number of cases that we're seeing now far exceeds what we had seen in the first wave or have been reported before. And this is related to three things. One is the virus itself. COVID virus predisposes to mucor infection because it causes lymphopenia and decreases the immune response, especially what we call CD4, CD8 cells, which predisposes to fungal infections. Secondly, if you have underlying diabetes and the diabetes is not under good control, then also we see mucormycosis, and this has been seen in the past also. We would occasionally see patients with mucormycosis involving the lung or the sinuses even before COVID-19, but the number now is much more. And the third important thing is the excessive and overuse of steroids. It has been clearly shown that in mild cases, and remember 80 to 85% of people are in the mild case category, do not need steroids, and use of steroids in this group actually can lead to worsening. There is enough data which says that this leads to what we call secondary infection, which can be fungal, which can be bacterial. The second thing is, so therefore steroids are useful only in moderate to severe cases, those who are admitted or those who have fall in oxygen saturation or later in the course of the disease rather than early. The second thing is the dose of steroids. Low dose steroids or low to moderate dose steroids is only that is required. Unfortunately, people have started thinking that if they give a very high dose steroid, they will get a better response. There's no data for that, but people are even giving pulse steroid therapy, which is also leading to higher chance of fungal infection. And the third is the duration of steroids. Most data suggests that steroids are required only for a short duration, but people continue to give steroids for a long period, and therefore both the timing of steroids, the dose of steroids, and the duration of steroids, which is not being followed as per guidelines, is leading to this outbreak of mucormycosis. We at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences have now about 50 cases. We opened a special ward for managing mucormycosis because this is a multidisciplinary approach which is required to manage such patients, and it is associated with high mortality. And therefore, I think the most important thing is to prevent it rather than having cases and then have to deal with that.
Has it reached epidemic proportions, Dr. Guleria, because two states at least have red flagged this?
I think in many states they're seeing this rise. I know that in one state they're already reporting more than 500 cases. So if we are having that many cases being reported in a state, then we are obviously seeing that it will be sort of an unusual epidemic. And I think we will continue to see more and more cases in the coming days. I'm just hopeful that as the cases decline as far as COVID-19 is concerned, we will also see a subsequent decline in mucor cases after a few days or weeks, if I may put it that way. But currently, the number of cases are on the rise.
Well, Dr. Handa, briefly what I want to ask you is, does this have anything to do with hygiene or the state of our hospitals? Because, some cases reported from states like Madhya Pradesh where cows are seen inside hospitals. People are linking mucormycosis to some such issues. Is that something that's scientifically proven?
No, I think that is not scientifically proven. Hygiene has to be there. There's no doubt about that. But as Dr. Guleria said, the most important thing is excessive use of steroids, higher doses of steroid, uncontrolled diabetes. Then two more points, the tubings, the oxygen tubings, unless you have changed them frequently. And third is the humidifiers in the oxygen and certain ferritin levels also. Then the last is maybe the virulence of the virus. No study has been done. But I'll give you an example. In normal times, I was seeing one case a month. In the first wave, we were seeing one case a week. Now I'm seeing 12 to 14 cases a day. And I will term it as a small epidemic in a bigger epidemic. So it is reaching
small epidemic. We need to be on the watch. Problems are diabetes, uncontrolled diabetes. That's a comorbidity you have to be worried about. And the second issue is, of course, a high use or over usage of steroids. Well, thank you, doctors. Thank you for joining me on the News Hour tonight. It's something that our viewers have been asking us about.